Hey folks, Ace TCG here, and in today's video we've got a pretty cool versus video here. We actually have Blue Hybrid versus Blue Hybrid. Now this is another video from the Team Crit Hit half case tournament that they ran last week. On the right is actually Josh from Team Crit Hit, so the links for their channel will be below because, you know, it's him. He has some really nice swag, as you can see, with his sleeves, his dice. Yeah, he's hooked up. And on the left we have another Blue Hybrid player. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name on the day, but yeah, so at this tournament, as I mentioned in the last video, they did have the mulligan and side decking ruling in place here. So yeah, Blue Hybrid's actually been doing really good in tournaments, which kind of surprised me a little bit, especially with like the ice wall limitation. I thought that the deck might have took a bigger hit than expected, and then on top of that, the Mega Digimon Fusion. I not looking heavily into sets in the future, but had heard a lot that that was something that the Blue Hybrid deck was planning to do a lot and did do a lot in Japan. So it coming over here, playtesting a little bit, didn't potentially show a lot of potency, showed a lot of really nice and annoying skills in the form of the Tommy, just being able to stun out your cards. But yeah, no, deck is busted. It's topped a lot of tournaments. So yeah, let's see what it's like in the mirror match. I can imagine it's a bit back and forth, and it's in mirror matches it usually comes down to who's had more experience playing against the mirror match. So we can see the Blue Hybrid player on the left doing the mulligan here. They've drew into a Hammerspark, Tommy, Madoki, and two other rookies there, which, to be fair, it isn't terribly bad. They could potentially want a few more tamers, but we have the Strabimon hard play here on the left, and they get to look at the top three, and they can take one hybrid and or one tamer, so that means that they can double add, so they add a hybrid and they add their Davis. Josh on the right hatches an Upamon, and he's going to go into his own Madoki in his raising area. This is the rookie that's going to stop your opponent from gaining memory, so the Hammersparks in the left player's hand are currently worthless, effectively. But Josh has played a Sora Joe here, so that means that yeah, he's going to want to get rid of the Strabimon so that he won't gain the plus power on the right. He's going to swing with a Strabby and swing with his Madoki here, just pushing down a little bit more damage on Josh on the right. Josh got a little bit unlucky in that he hit two rookies, really. He'd like to see some tamers there, but we're going to see the play of the Davis on the left here, and he's going to grab another Madoki, so that can be really useful. Josh is going to go to 3, and he hard plays the new Strappy from BT7, so he can look for hybrids, and he adds, I believe that's the jamming hybrid that just came out for blue, which is pretty cool. And then he's going to play another Strappy and dig again for more hybrids here, and he grabs the, is that the, I'm trying to remember where all of the names of them. That's the one that bounces level 4s or lowers, I believe. No, that's the one that stuns. Ah, yeah, it's the Beowulf that does it. But yeah, the hybrid on the left hatches another Upa, goes into another Madoki. Yeah, they're in quite a weird spot, really, because they have actually like quite a bit of pressure getting that early chip damage into blue. It doesn't have the healing like capabilities that yellow does, so it can't like, that chip damage really adds up over time. So right now the player on the left's played a BT7 Strabimon here, looking for those hybrids, and gets the Beowulfmon, which is just an absolutely nutty card, really. The ability to go into ultimates for the cost of 1 is just really good. We can see that they have 2 Hammersparks in hand, which currently, like I said, are worthless because Josh has the Madoki out. So yeah, it's a weird one. They don't have a lot of tamers out, so they're going to play the Tommy here, which Tommy's on playability is going to be able to trash up to 3 sources from one Digimon, so he straps the sources underneath the Madoki, removing an Upamon, which is actually a nice card draw for Josh. Josh goes ahead and pays 2 to go into the 2-cost hybrid for blue. This has another effect to strip away sources, and then he digivolves into a Madoki in raising, keeping the pressure with those Madokis to stop the blue player on the left from being able to use like the effects of Hammersparks. He also then goes into the jamming hybrid here, which is pretty cool because it's also a champion, and it has the costs of 3 on top of a rookie or 1 on top of a hybrid, so a bit more draw potential here for Josh here. He then goes into the Beowulfmon, which only cost 1. I think does it still only cost one? Is it if it's got hybrid or tamer? I really can't remember. But then he's going to swing in with some of these Strabbies. He gets a bit unfortunate in hitting a Sora Joe here, which is going to be able to push his opponent to 5. It swings in with the Madoki, hits a Hammer Spark, but of course because of the Madoki ability, that Hammer Spark's not actually going to be able to give the player on the left any value. And then he swings with the Beowulfmon and hits into an Azulongmon. Yeah, I don't know if the jamming is for the turn for the hybrid that was underneath it. That could be why he hasn't killed the Beowulfmon, I'm not sure. I'll have to read up on that myself. If anyone knows, let me know in the comments. But he's going to play a Strabimon here, and he gets to add a hybrid and a tamer, so he gets the Sorajo and he gets the Strabimon. I think the Strabimon was from BT4. So yeah, it's really good. It's nice value here. The player on the left is in a weird situation here because he has one Madoki. He is going to 5, so if he has a way to be able to deal with a lot of the stuff, like because he has the Madoki, he'll need to kill the Madoki, build a stack to go into like a Zulong potentially. I don't know. He does have the Sparks and stuff, so he might try and swing into the Madoki and trade so that he can use his Hammer Sparks and get more value that way. But he realistically needs to either like win this turn or clear board because he's in a bad spot, but he's also under the ice wall. Josh did the really good play of playing an ice wall at that important time here, because if he does swing with that Madoki here, he will lose 2 memory, because ice wall states lose 2 memory, not your opponent gains memory, which is actually really important for the wording. So he's going to swing into the Strabimon here, lose 2 memory, and draw from the Upamon. The Strabimon only has a 1000 DP base here, so the Madoki's going to survive. But yeah, he's not in a great position here on the left. Here we can see in his hand here that he has one of the hybrids. This one stuns some Digimon, so he's going to Digivolve into it. Draws into a Lobomon here. So his play here is he could swing into the Madoki, I suppose, and then use the Tommy effect to stop something else. Okay, this is pretty cool. So he pays 1 to go into the Beowulfmon, which is nice. He's going to swing at the Madoki, bounce back the hybrid, and then he's going to bounce back his own hybrid, and then he's going to my brain just completely thought bounce back the other Strabimon, and then he's going to use the Sorajo ability to strip 2 from Beowulfmon and then stun it using Tommy's ability. So currently Josh doesn't have any tamers, and he only has a Madoki that is actually able to attack here, so it'll be interesting to see how Josh is going to like pilot around this, and whether he just tries to build up a few more tamers to try and get around it. He is in a weird situation here because this is like where the pressure can come on, because if he loses Madoki, his opponent has a lot of Hammer Sparks and also has 2 tamers up, so he could just go hybrid for game. He has a Madoki himself, so cards like Hammer Sparks aren't going to be able to help Josh in his security here unless he deals with his opponent's Madoki. So it's actually a bit of a weird one for him because of this Beowulf getting stung out. He's going to trade with the Madokis, which, yeah, it deals with the other Madoki, but then the scary thing is that Josh doesn't have his own here. But now he can use his Hammer Sparks. So Hammer Sparks for 1, plays a Tommy for 3, so he's going to be able to strip that Beowulfmon of its Tommy, which is good because Tommy is like one of the main reasons that Josh isn't going to be able to swing with that Beowulfmon. So if you can stop that Beowulfmon getting stunned consistently, it could help him in the future. He plays a Strabimon here for 3, gets the double add here, but he's going to have a little look and choose what he wants. He's definitely going to get the Tommy, but I think he's going to choose, he chooses the 2-cost hybrid to take here, and then the blue player on the left is going to go to 5 because of that Sorajo ability. So yeah, overall, really nice like handling of play from Josh on the right here. He's put the blue player on the left under more pressure again. Yes, the blue player on the left can use the Hammer Sparks, but yeah, Josh is in quite a decent spot here. He'd hope to have more tamers, and this is where it can really go back and forth here. The biggest advantage that Josh has is that he has more security right now, and unless the player on the left can go all the way up into a Zulongmon, then he might struggle here to just be able to like go straight for games and stuff. We can see that he does have a lot of hybrids in his hand, and this is where the mirrors can get touchy and scary because you don't know what your hand is. All it takes is for one person to have a particularly better hand, and it can become that. We see him go into a Lobomon here on the left, draws a card, and then pays 1 to digivolve into the one of the newer hybrids, which has the effect to stun a Digimon when digivolving. I believe. I didn't know if that was just when over Tommy, so it's actually quite interesting if it isn't. But he's going to swing with the Beowulfmon that he's just went into, add back the hybrid, which is so annoying because you can just constantly get it, and then he bounces back the Strabimon to Josh's hand. Now, this is where, like I said, the mirror match can be really issue because Josh's Beowulfmon is stunned again. He only has 1 tamer out, so he could only potentially go into 1 hybrid. But if you could go into like an Azulongmon and climb all the way up, then cool. That would be really, really useful for him to be able to like get more swings, maybe clear the Beowulf, or actually, now that I think about it, even the Azulong wouldn't do anything because he needs 2 attacks to be able to finish the game. He hatches, it's not the Upamon, it's the other one, I can't remember its name, but digivolves into a Strabimon in his raising area. And yeah, he's again in a weird situation. He can go into the Tommy here, pay 2 for his hybrid, which when digivolving allows him to strip some sources from that Beowulfmon, which is pretty nice. You'd kind of hope that you'd be able to deal with the full sources here to get the max value from the Tommy stun. He might be tempted to go into a Beowulfmon, swing into the Beowulfmon, and then stun the other one, but he's going to go into that hybrid that's going to allow him to just stun the already rested, the already sourceless Beowulfmon on the left. He's again still in a weird situation here where like the left player is going to gain +4 memory just for starting his turn because of the Sorojo. Sorojo is really how you win this matchup. It's such a really broken tamer. It's really good. But Josh is going to go into the Hexa Blaumon here for 3. The player on the left is going to gain 4 memory if they remember to do so. Oh wait, no, they won't. They won't. It's not even that they haven't remembered. Josh has just done the smart thing to go into the Hexa here, so they're not going to gain a ton of memory, which is actually pretty cool. But they do already have 2 Digimon that's going to be able to swing. Apologies for the mistake here. So as long as they have 1 hybrid, they should be okay. They have 2 Armor Sparks, so yeah, they should be good. To just go for game here. Yeah, I think Josh was in a bit of a sticky situation. His security definitely hasn't been the best. Player on the left's going to still make sure that they're doing like max value with the Sorojo. Their Strabimon dies, but it won't matter too much. Josh finally hits a tamer in his security. Yeah, and then he has hybrid for game 1. Alrighty, so we'll get ready for game 2 now. The guy on the left, so like I said, we do actually have sideboards in this. The guy on the left has sided in 4 cards. I couldn't see exactly what it was. Yeah, there was at least a rookie that stops the reduction of Digivolve costs sided in from them. There it is, we can see it there. And on the right, Josh, I think he sided 1. It may have been 2, but I think it was 1. But Josh is going to go first, and he has his own. I'm trying to remember the actual name of it. All these little nuanced names always like slip my mind when it comes to actually recording. But yeah, straight away. It begins with an S, I'm sure it begins with an S, but we see a absolute power move here with a Tommy and straight into a Sora from the player on the left, which is, yeah, Josh has his own Sora and Joe, and the weird one, oh nice, yeah, this is an even better situation for Josh here. He actually has his Davis and his Sora set up straight away, grabs the Strabimon with the Davis, and it's nice to see that Josh is able to actually hit some of his pieces early on. Unfortunately, he wasn't not even lucky, just it wasn't as nice to him last game. He swings here with the oh no, sorry, I watched it myself. Swings into security, uses the Sorojo effect to strip Josh's rookie, and then hits into a Tommy. So the Tommy ability is actually going to strip that rookie, which is amazing for Josh, because that means the Sorojo effect is going to go off here. So he gets to go to 5, but the hybrid player on the left has played another Sorojo. So Josh needs to be careful about playing or having any Digimon out that haven't got any sources, because he's going to be able to give a lot of memory to his opponent. But his opponent on the left doesn't actually have any Davis here, so he's not going to be able to go to 7 every turn, even if he does. So if Josh puts him to 1, you can still only go to like 5, which is a lot, but yeah. He plays the Pokemon and gets a bit unlucky here and only gets a Beowulfmon, but it's still really good value for him. He's going to, well, he would pay 2 to Digivolve here and then gain 2 back from the Pokemon, but yeah, it's just free. Josh trades Rookie into Rookie, but yeah, that Digimon also has jamming, which is pretty cool. He goes into the Beowulfmon for 1. In this situation, I don't know if I would have traded Rookies there. It might have been a bigger threat to just bounce it back with the Beowulfmon. But yeah, it just goes for it anyway. Digivolves into a Hexablow, which is actually really nice. But then his opponent's going to gain 4 memory from those Sora Joes. Yeah, Hexablow is good. I think the only thing in this matchup that I'm scared of is climbing into a Mega like super early. I think you like to have like 3s out so that you can go into a 4. Like, so you're trying to stop your opponent from gaining that Sora Joe memory, really. Player on the left is going to Digivolve into a hybrid here. It looks like they're actually missing a Rookie, so I was probably wrong in bouncing them back that Rookie. There's value in just straight up trading here. He swings, that Tommy effect's going to stun the Bokomon, and he hits into a 1k Strabimon. He plays the, I believe this is the Matt Ishida from the starter deck for blue, and then he plays a Howling memory boost, and the Howling is going to strip the Hexablow of 3 sources and stun it too. It's really good. That Mad effect is going to be allow him to gain 1 memory. I believe it's if his opponent has a card with no Digivolution sources. So he gains 5 memory at the start of turn for his opponent having no sources, which is, yeah, really good. Josh plays a Howling here, strips the opponent's champion, and then plays a Strabimon and grabs a Beowulfmon. Puts his opponent to 3. His opponent's then going to gain 5 memory, which is fun and interactive and completely balanced. Yeah, it's it's good. Looking at his opponent's hand, it's not actually that bad him having that much memory right now, because it looks like he has a Strabi, 1 hybrid. Let's see what he draws here. Oh, he draws a Madoki, a Strabi, 1 hybrid, a Susanamon, and 2 Hammer Sparks here. He's going to pay 2 to go into the champion hybrid, draws into a Howling memory boost, which, to be fair, right now isn't going to do him all that much. Like, how is he planning here to spend his 6 memory? It could potentially just be a pass here. And yeah, Josh is in a pretty good spot, because none of his stuff is stunned. And how do you become in an even better spot? His opponent swings into security and hits into another Sora Joe, which is, yeah, really good value here for Josh. That Hexablamon's doing real work here, because that hybrid is just sitting there doing nothing. It can't do any potency. Yeah, so player on the left has played a Howling, so he's going to stun the Hexa, pass his turn to go to 3, and then Josh is going to gain 4 memory from the Sora Joes here, which is, you know, it's good. Just in a really good spot here. He has 3 Tamers out, tons of memory. Howling here with the delay ability to gain 2 more memory if he needs to. So as long as he has his pieces, he's yeah. Well, actually, you can't use the Howling because his opponent has a Madoki. Yeah, I should have spotted that myself. But yeah, that Madoki is actually going to turn off the Howling and the Pokemon here. So if Josh has a way to get rid of the Madoki, by like bouncing it to hand with the Beowulfmon, because we saw him add Beowulf before, that'll be good. He can go into his hybrid and use its effect to strip the source of that other hybrid, making it useless because of the Hexablaumon, which is, yes, really good. Yeah, super good value. Josh is going to start poking, hits at security with a Strabi, hits into an Azulongmon. So yeah, 2k against 13. Not that close, but I don't think Josh really cared there. 9 times out of 10, that's going to die, or hit a Tamer, which is less effective. He's going to pay 1 here to go into the Beowulfmon, which is nice, because he could swing and use its effect to bounce the Madoki, and then he can use the effects of the Pokemon and the Howling to be able to just gain tons of memory and go into hybrids if he wants to. he's in that good of a spot here where like he doesn't really have to worry all that much about what his opponent has. His opponent has 3 Digimon out, but all 3 of them can't attack because Hexablamon's putting in work here for Josh. So yeah, Josh is going to just play for value here, pays 3 to play a Strabimon. Strabimon gets the beautiful double add, adding a Tommy and a Beowulfmon. Yeah, it could be nice here for him to just be able to play the Tommy. I don't know what the rest of his hand is, but he's looking at getting some value out of that Beowulfmon and swinging with it. Josh's hand is significantly larger than the player on the left's. So yeah, he's just going to play that Tommy for 3. His opponent is going to gain 5 memory here. Sorry, 4 memory because he did go over the mat. So yeah, his opponent goes to 6, but like I said, his opponent has a pretty small hand and not a lot of stuff. So he's going to raise up the Strabimon here. Strabimon does have an Upamon underneath, so he can swing with it because it does have a source. So he might be able to gain a draw here that could actually help him. Swings, hits a 1 decay Strabimon. And yeah, he could actually potentially have game here, because if he just, from the looks of it, he drew another hybrid from that draw, which is actually disgusting. Goes into the hybrid, draws can't remember its name, Mon, and then goes into the Kendo for game, which is absolutely tilt-worthy, because yeah, even I, watching the game, thought Josh had that. Yeah, that's a bit lucky on the player on the left side to be able to just get their pieces there. I would have definitely thought that I was in a like decent spot, especially with the Hexablaumon there putting in work. Yeah, it's a weird one. You can see the player on there being like, what am I supposed to do with this, because you have the Madoki out. Yeah, a bit unlucky for Josh, really, on the right. Fair play. It is what it is. That's how the game feels, especially playing against Blue Hybrid. You can kind of just like snatch games out of your hand like without you expecting. But yeah, that's the best of 3. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you're having a great day. Check out Team Crit Hit. Josh, yeah, is on the right. He played well. I know he did pretty decent in the tournament as well. So yeah, check them out, and yeah, have a great day. Peace.